Welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. Today, we are diving into something absolutely fascinating. We're going to bridge the ancient, esoteric world of Vedic astrology with the highly practical and, let's be honest, completely unglamorous world of tax compliance. I know, right? It sounds like a totally unexpected mix, but I promise you the connections here are mind-blowing and actually incredibly relevant to your everyday life. Let's get right into it. Ask yourself honestly, did you verify every number before filing, or did assumptions quietly replace accuracy? Ouch, it's a bit of a jolt, isn't it? It kind of shakes you right out of that passive scrolling state. Look, we've all been there, casually trusting the math, rushing to just hit submit without double-checking. But when it comes to financial accuracy, that quiet, sneaky assumption, that is literally your biggest enemy. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, Mercury in the 6th house, where intelligence meets routine. So, to really understand this dynamic, we first need to look at the foundational astrology driving it. In Vedic astrology, the 6th house is definitely not about the grand, dramatic, cinematic events of your life. Not at all. It governs work, routines, documentation, legal obligations, taxation, debts, compliance. You get the picture. It is all about the unglamorous but absolutely essential daily habits that, quite frankly, keep our modern lives from totally falling apart. And then, enter the planet Mercury. Mercury represents intelligence, communication, calculation, records, accounting, logic, and that crucial attention to detail. Now, what's really interesting is what happens when we mix Mercury's traits with the 6th house. It creates this incredible synergy. Your mind naturally begins to notice facts that others completely overlook. It literally turns raw intelligence and curiosity into a powerful form of financial protection.
Because let's be real for a second, tax compliance is built entirely upon details. The sheer volume is just relentless. Think about it. Every income entry, every deduction, every receipt, every invoice, every bank statement, every calculation. A single incorrect number might seem like no big deal today, but tomorrow, that one tiny digit can change your entire financial picture. Mercury is here to remind us that accuracy doesn't just happen by accident.
So, how on earth do we handle this massive volume of detail without just getting completely overwhelmed? Well, by breaking it down. Stability actually grows quietly. It happens through small, incredibly manageable steps over a long period of time. One organized document, one verified figure, one preserved receipt, one completed reconciliation. These actions seem so basic, almost ordinary, right? But they are exactly how you build rock-solid, long-term financial confidence. It is definitely not about one heroic, stressful, caffeine-fueled effort at tax time. It's about consistent routines repeated over many years. Now, what's really interesting about this next concept is how Mercury uses simple questions to replace risky assumptions. It essentially builds a shield of curiosity. Is this figure correct? Does this receipt actually belong here? Was this payment recorded? Has every single income source been included? Your curiosity literally becomes your defense mechanism. Financial accuracy relies way less on raw and natural intelligence and so much more on your willingness to just stop, pause, and verify what already seems totally obvious. Which brings us to a critical warning. Section 2, Assumptions versus Accuracy, the danger of the familiar. You see, a lot of compliance mistakes don't actually start with blatant carelessness. No, they start with familiarity. We fall into dangerous familiarity. This is when you copy last year's info without reviewing it, you accept calculations totally unchecked, or maybe you enter account numbers from memory, or upload documents without even opening them first. Look, none of this feels careless in the moment, right? It just reflects that quiet confidence routine sometimes gives us. But Mercury demands action. It demands careful observation, disciplined review, and highly conscious attention. It requires a genuine willingness to verify the obvious, because like we said, a single bad number can throw the whole shebang off balance. So, the absolutely crucial point here is this. Routine should never replace attention. Let's just let that sink in for a second. We all know discipline is rarely exciting. Double-checking an account number you've typed 100 times? Yeah, it's downright boring. But it absolutely must be dependable.
Moving right along. Section 3, the power of routine, communication, and everyday discipline.
We have to remember that tax deadlines come back every single year, right? Bills arrive regularly. Compliance isn't just some one-and-done event. It is a living, breathing part of everyday life. And because Mercury values communication so highly, clear financial communication carries unusual importance in this house. You need clear invoices, complete business records, accurate emails with your accountants, and supporting documents that answer questions before they're even asked. Good communication radically cuts down on confusion, and clear documentation prevents unnecessary disputes down the line. It's all about being proactive. Now let's see how this builds as we transition into our modern heavily digital era.
Section 4. The digital illusion. Tech speed versus human verification.
Okay, so we live in this era of incredible, mind-blowing efficiency. Online banking, accounting software, digital invoices, electronic tax filing, automated calculations. These tools are amazing. They process information at lightning speed, they accelerate our work, and they brilliantly improve our daily efficiency. But, and this is a very big but, they never, ever eliminate our human responsibility.
Let's break this down. While software processes information quickly and accelerates your workflow, human attention, your attention, is what actually determines if that information is correct in the first place. Technology accelerates the work, for sure, but human attention protects the accuracy. Taking that time prevents hours or maybe even days of painful corrections later on. Because let's face it, software cannot tell you if the data you entered was simply wrong to begin with.
And that leads us to this really fascinating psychological truth. The mind finishes before the eyes fully observe. Mercury thinks rapidly, right? And quick thinking solves problems efficiently. But rapid thinking also heavily encourages rapid assumptions. A repeated task starts to feel automatic. Taking the time to consciously slow down your verification process is what actually protects you from those rapid-fire mistakes. And honestly, when you do slow down, something amazing happens. Let's zoom out from these tiny daily actions for a second and look at the big picture.
Section 5. Order creates freedom. The macro payoff.
The math here brilliantly illustrates the ultimate payoff. Think about how this maps out. Time invested in organizing financial records? That returns later as massively reduced stress during tax season. Proper bookkeeping? That translates directly to shortened reviews. Accurate documentation? That becomes strengthened, unwavering confidence during audits or financial inquiries. It's incredible how the unglamorous micro-actions of the sixth house directly translate into this immense, highly valuable macro outcome.
Which brings us to one of my absolute favorite takeaways from this entire explainer. Financial clarity quietly becomes emotional clarity. When you put in the work, when you apply Mercury's careful bookkeeping to those everyday mundane tasks, you are literally buying yourself emotional freedom. Real peace of mind is the ultimate return on your investment of time and discipline.
So to sum it all up, Mercury absolutely doesn't discourage efficiency. In fact, it actively encourages learning, logic, and intelligent systems. But it demands balance. We must connect our intelligence to patience. We have to connect speed to verification and knowledge to discipline. True, lasting financial confidence is rarely created by grand, sweeping decisions. It's built quietly, solidly, one accurate detail at a time.
So as we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with a final thought to really ponder regarding your own habits. Will your every calculation receive one final review before becoming a permanent record? Take a moment to really think about your own financial future and the systems you currently have in place. What are you missing because you're moving too fast? Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep learning, keep questioning, and above all, keep verifying.